Boom. Mic drop.
Welcome back, listeners. It's the Inside as Matthew, the Jaw Hayes, and Darren, the Can Talk Under Wet Cement Broady. We're back. It's been
Back.
a bit of a vacance for us, hasn't it, Matt?
Hiatus.
I wouldn't call it a vacance. We haven't been on vacation, but we've had a little bit of a break from the potties, but I think that gives us a lot to talk about, huh?
I feel like Trestles broke me for a little while.
Trestles broke, I think, a lot of us.
But yeah, a lot to talk about. A lot been going down.
How long ago was it now? A month?
A month, pretty much. Yeah.
It was just the most lamest. I mean, it was great to see Steph win. I guess we're going to touch on Trestles. We went straight there,
Yeah.
and like you'd be an idiot to say Toledo didn't deserve it. It was just so underwhelming, wasn't it? With like 3 foot, and then 3 foot non-shore.
Yeah. I thought that the women's was super entertaining. At that size, in those waves, I thought like Steph was incredible. Some of the turns she done, there was that one Dane-esque turn she done, and I was like, I actually felt like the women's was really contestable and really good in those waves. The guys, like Felipe 100% deserved to win the world title, and he won it in second gear. Like he had so much more.
He probably did, didn't he?
Yeah,
He didn't go to the air, didn't need to.
no, and I didn't feel for
Or
Jacko.
what were his turns? Was he sick of hearing everyone say Ethan can beat his heirs with
Maybe.
turns? He thought maybe, well, I've got some turns too.
Or I thought it maybe the other way around, which was he knew that if he was against Italo in the final, and if he's surfing against Italo, his rail game blows Italo's out of the water. So that's his point of difference.
Yeah.
So
I had to lead on my squad there.
yeah,
And at one stage I had Talo too. I was quite convinced that Talo was going to come through.
I
I
wrote him
just,
off.
I
I
just
thought Canales.
emotionally didn't want either of them.
Mm,
Well, it's because we're not Brazilian. I've got nothing against all you Brazilians out there, but we're not. So,
yeah,
unfortunately for them, we're Anglo-Saxon. We're always going to tend towards those surfers that we have a small chance of relating to in personal history, background, geography,
yeah. I
culture.
yeah, I really like Felipe, and I wanted him to win, but at the same time, I would rather Ethan Ewan won the world title. But yeah, which is what you said. But
But
the funny
like,
thing
okay,
is,
so then they so just say they go next year. Okay, the finals are at J Bay, right?
yeah,
Is that a true representation? Like I did like the format. I do kind of like the idea and stuff, but I'm wondering if that should not just be a specialty thing on the side. I just don't think it's
yeah.
a true representation of what the world champ is. And Toledo would have been anyway based
Well,
on those things, but not necessarily
yeah, but
because
when you say that, and I
they
completely
cut
agree.
half the field away that he didn't have to surf against, and he
Hmm.
didn't have to surf against any of them.
I
I don't
I agree because, in a different angle on it, which is from the women. Steph Gilmore pretty much made a mockery of the setup. She shouldn't
Yeah.
you shouldn't be winning from fifth, and she won it quite easily.
Nearly got knocked off to it like so close.
Yeah, and Steph has just won the world title. She didn't surf at Pipe because of the COVID thing, which was just, I mean, that's just fucked up by the WSL. She came last at Sunset, and then
Which
she
is
fi-
weird. How did she come last at
I
sunset?
know. And then she finishes scrapes into fifth in the year, um, which is good on her and stuff. And then, like I say, she nearly lost to uh, Brisa,
Risa.
and then
Yeah,
after
I
that, she
saw
was
that.
just like,
Unstoppable.
yeah. And I just thought, like, well, like Steph said in her thing, Carissa Moore is the world title holder. She's the world champ,
She had
and
a pretty lame year though, so she didn't really win
she
anything.
was very underwhelming. I didn't think she was going to win it on finals day, even from first. I was saying I actually thought Tatiana Weston Webb was going to win it.
It didn't
Uh,
look that good either. She needed it to
no.
be a bit bigger. She
Well,
needed it to be bit bigger to unleash. Who else
I
was there?
think
Risa looked pretty good
Reese
actually.
looks good, and Joanne Defay kind of
Fell
just
a
got
bit.
she just got staffed. But I think that was the hard part is all of them looked really bad against a very good Steph.
And there's the other one was poor old Jack didn't
I,
doesn't do Trestles, does he? And it's funny because some of his
I
lead
had
up
a
Instagram
I had
run
a big
maneuvers were looking good.
I had a big thing about this. The day after it happened, I went in and was speaking to Roger at work, and he was like, "Oh, he made a mistake waiting and stuff," and I don't think he did. I just because he nearly won. He needed a 9.1 and he got an 8.8, and like so if he'd have not waited and then the wave he got the 8.8 on went empty because he'd surfed his shitty wave before, everyone would have gone, oh, he shit the bed, he should have waited, he panicked. And
I
then
thought
when
his 8.8 was a bit overcooked.
mm,
I
mm,
can't remember it.
but I remember thinking that's close to the score, but actually that being said, not taking anything away from it though, I did think I hate his style of surfing. I absolutely detested his surfing that day and the way he surfed. I it's just completely
It
against
still
what I
comes.
like. But I love the fact that he was adaptable and and that's what I felt like Ethan and Jack lacked was any plan B or plan C. That was what he came across to me like.
I think even if they had Plan B or Plan C, they wouldn't win.
No, maybe
But
not.
that's the title cooked.
Yeah.
What has been jumped out at you over the last month? As I know you're probably more professional than me. You got a list, but what's the most impressive surfing footage you've seen
I
over the
actually
last month?
I actually don't have a list, but I have got a few things. Um, Leo Frivanti's edit is messed up. Is I don't usually just like the kind of thing where it's like 12 minutes of pure surfing and a bit of music over it. It kind of I like it to have a bit of like a documentary type feel to it. But his edit is messed up and it's so good. Alongside that, Jay Phipps dropped a little 45-second clip or whatever it was, and I love that kid
When did he
surfing.
do that?
He put it on Insta and he sent it to me. He sent it to me direct, and I was like, "Yes, this is sick." Also two more. The actually three more. Glad you scored from Dane Reynolds and those boys at well, it's Dane.
Bands.
Yes, Dane Vans, and all of those. That is very good as well. And then the two stab productions that I love. Mick Fanning's Electric Acid Surfboard Test I thought was really good. Although I think they fucked up. Like if you haven't watched it, I don't know, but they shouldn't have told when they done this collaborations. They shouldn't have like said that right only you have to make a 7.0 and you have to make a 5.3 and you have to make a 6.0 because I felt like Matt Parker and that Joe Falcone got Mick Fanning's not going to choose a mid length over a short board. Simple as
Never.
that.
No, that was
Um, and I really,
it's either all the similar sort of length or all.
yeah. And then I really like the no contest off tour that Ashton Goggins has been doing, and it's on Red Bull TV, and that's super good.
Yes. So that's what I thought. I kind of led you into that one. See how much like content
Yeah,
is coming out these days.
definitely. And I think they've been very clever to do it. There's
Now
I'm
all this content is that I'm just thinking it's reflective of the fact that CT doesn't hold as much
well, do you think
power as what it used to, because now we can just watch all this other stuff, which personally I think is better, unless it's J Bay or Pipe
yeah, do you not think that they've
or someone really good surfing in a different environment.
do you not think they've also been very clever though in the fact that they've chose to release it when the tour's not on, and like Mix came out just after the world tour ended, like the Ashtons is just released. Glad you
Yeah,
scored. I don't
sure.
think I don't think Dane had any intention of holding it back or anything like that. I think glad you scored because that released before Trestles. Um, and like Leo was probably quite clever in the timing of his.
Leo's
Uh,
Leo's waves are just next level, really, aren't they?
what's mad about that is I think the whole 12-minute episode, or maybe it's a bit longer, is literally 2 or 3 sessions. Um, in I'm not going to say where it is because I'm not, but um,
Europe,
yeah, in the northern hemisphere.
Southern Europe.
um, yeah, it's mental that he gets that many good waves and makes a whole edit out of it. And I thought that actually was what the one that surprised me the most because it's the type of edit that doesn't really sit with me. I can't relate to it too heavily or anything like that. But I thought it was mad.
Maybe we over the next couple of weeks we dedicate a little bit more time to a few of those different things. While today we just
Yeah, definitely.
rush over some of the and the comeback. It's the comeback issue.
What we need to
I
talk about.
saw Leo this afternoon, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Uh, Down near my wife's work, we were going swimming and stuff like that. It's funny, and like I said to him, "Oh, how long are you here for?" And he's like, "Because we got a good forecast coming up again." He's like, 5 days, and he's off to wave pool. I think it's Switzerland.
all
Uh,
right,
he's
yeah,
coming back for a few more days, and then I think he's off. So I guess he'd be off to
Brazil.
5 would be to the 16th, another 5. Yeah, yeah. But it just shows these dudes, they're they're on the road. I'm telling you, they're
Yeah,
on the road. They live out of the suitcase still. Like they had a bit of a break from it, and now they're back on the suitcase.
mm. But talking about leading people into things. I'm going to walk you straight into this one. Tell me about some of these waves you've been catching and sending me because we will post it on like or show. But just for some context, Darren's been surfing in France on some hellman waves, like huge. And I want to know more about that because I don't get exposed to that. So what's that all about, Daz?
I was cooking, mate. We just got. It was just so shit this summer that
Yeah,
by the time it come, I don't know. I was so ready for it. It wasn't funny. It was. I think we had what? We had 3 good days in between. It went from like tragically small and gutless and windy all the time. Then there was straight away this week of like horizontal rain, storm, and massive. And we had all these banks that looked like epic, and it blew them all away. But
yeah,
then my home spot just seems to have got even better and better and better sand. And then we got like 2 meter swells at what was it, 12 seconds, something like that, and stiff offshore. So it was just really good fun, no brainer. I mean, there was a lot of photos of gnarly barrels
yeah,
500 meters up the beach, which it's way gnarlier there. That was my old hunting ground. But you just like, and I talked to like a friend did a pitter, and he made semis or final pipe. And
Yeah,
he got one wave. He spent the rest of the 3 hours paddling and everything. And I don't know. I guess a lot of our listeners, myself as well, a lot of the times your ego takes a beating if you think you're going to not the gnarliest spot or where you can get the best barrel, which is obviously the most fun.
yeah.
But I just can't do it anymore. You just can't. I just can't waste 3 hours in the water for potentially one wave when it's closing out. So I go to a couple of other spots which are just so much more fun. Less
Yeah, but
death defying, but more fun.
let's not take any context away from the fact that these are like, to me, I'm classing that as like some of the photos you sent me. That's that's easily an 8 foot wave, 8 to 10 foot in my eyes, if not bigger. Um, you're a big dude. You're going down the face of that wave in a pretty low stance, and it's way, way, way over your head. So yes, it might not be a beach break barrel that's really not, but it's still a heavy wave. So props
The
to you.
beach bait trails we get here, and it, they look like it looks like pipe then. But
Yeah,
it is on sand. Dude's getting broken all the time.
yeah,
I
100%. Vaheem, if if people want to check out what Darren is talking about, go to Rip It Up on Instagram, and Vaheem Ferrero, she is the Tahiti queen,
did
and
she get one on there?
I sent it to you. Mental barrel, like, and
I saw her in the lineup. Yeah, I saw her. I
yeah,
saw her today.
absolute, like super clean barrel, like full. I'd say 6 foot for
Yeah,
like
it was 6 to 8 foot. But
stand up here.
hopefully we'll get better. Oh yeah, okay. You sent that to me. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at it later. But it was epic. And then this Sunday coming up is like fucking Europe's just gonna.
Yeah, Tuesday for us. Tuesday here for us looks like the first super clean swell that's going to hit the south coast. You'll be proud of me for this. On Saturday, Daz, I drove 4 hours. I woke up at 3:45 a.m. Drove 4 hours, surfed for nearly 6 hours in total in Cornwall, and then drove back the same night.
Fucking marathon day.
Absolute hell, man. And I surfed my 6.5 album Disorder that I got a week before my wedding and just haven't been able to surf it really. And it was the first time I've had it in good waves. And geez, that's a good board.
Is it better than your other one that you're gonna sell me?
It complements it very well. It's more performance. It's more narrow, and it's 6 foot 5, but it feels more like a shortboard underfoot. And like on the way it goes rail to rail is it shouldn't be allowed because it makes it too easy for someone who's not amazing to surf, like they're surfing better than they are. It's very fast, but it's very good.
I surfed a 20 yesterday in smaller fun waves, and I'd surfed it before, and I tell you, I just felt such a kook. Like it's just such a hard, different way to surf.
Yeah,
It just completely. And I was surfing with Kale, who's back, and I was like, I said to him, I think I just got to surf the complete opposite way
yeah,
to how I normally kind of surf. I took off on a wave accidentally and had my legs fully wide apart, like Aussie Ride or something, and then it kind of felt better. So I don't know.
yeah,
It was just so hard. But talking about marathon sessions, it's so I've got this grommet over here. Noah, if you're listening, I'll tell him to listen. So he's over from my home beach, Maroochydore, Alexandra Headlands. He's a Maroochydore Grom, 19, and he's come over to help me out in the house for the last month. It's a long story, but anyway, he's come up first ever overseas trip. and
Yeah.
he flew in on a Tuesday, and then we had a full frontal European like low pressure system storm on the head, and then it cleans up, and I said to him like, "We go check, we'll go check Ossibor," and we go checked, and it was firing. It was like it was firing, and like he's just going to me. I've never seen waves like that in real life before.
Really mad.
Yeah, it's because like, and I remember it's coming from where we come, where it doesn't get bigger than 4 foot, and
Yeah.
somewhere along the line you get desensitized to it. Which what happens to those guys in Hawaii? Like you can see it. Like what you're looking at isn't what they're looking at because they've just seen it all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's other Grom that I met here. What's his name? He's from Tahiti. He's 16. Gilbert. I'll send you a thing of him. He's from Tahiti, right? He switched foots 12 foot.
No.
And he had his shirt off. I'm going to try and get him on the potty even. He had his shirt off and he looked like he'd been in a fight with a tiger.
What, just reef scars?
Reef scar all over him, all over him, all in different spots, different ages. It's another world, man.
Mad.
So anyway, I'm surfing with the grommet with Noah, and we surf Lenore. I shouldn't have even said it
We'll beep it.
for 4 hours. So we surf for 4 hours. We surf from 9 till 1. I come in, I'm like, what? It's 1 o'clock. And I go, let's go get some food. And he goes, I just came in for some wax. He packs his up, goes back out. I go back, have lunch, have a pie and a smoothie and stuff at the cafe. And then, so I bring him back pie and stuff. And like, I come back, I'm looking for him. I can't see him. Then I see him on the beach and he was doing a lap and I whistle him up. And he comes over and he goes, oh, yeah. I go, so I brought you something to eat. He goes, oh, okay. And it was still really good, actually. And I'm like looking at it, watching him. And I said, well, I'm out there. You can take a picture of me. And he's like, oh, I'll just go back out. So he surfed 8 hours. He'd never seen waves like that. Like, I'm sure he
Far
has,
out.
but it just, I don't know. I can't remember having that much energy. But
No.
somewhere it's infectious.
Oh yeah, well, that's I literally when woke up at
It'll
3:45.
be in my do's and don'ts later.
Yeah, woke up 3:45, bang, car, bang down to Cornwall, no stop, didn't stop at all.
For yourself.
I was with Silent Jack.
Ah, Spacker.
Yeah.
How are you, mate? Chaka. Thank God. But
um,
you wouldn't want to do it by yourself. How boring would that be?
yeah, I'd probably fall asleep. But
12
yeah,
hours of farts and laughing?
yeah, so we just punched it down there. And then because that bit's the easy bit because you're in your head, you're like, right, it's going to be firing, blah, blah. The forecast was pretty good.
Ah, it's on the ways. You're full of amp, don't you?
Yeah,
6 hour, no, how many hour drive? 4.
it was 4 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah, it was, and literally rocked up. I'd I'd had six brioches on the way down, and yeah, bang, straight
To
into a
go to the
wetsuit.
toilet.
No, straight into a wetty, paddled out, all good fun. 2 hour surf, get out, bang some food.
And was it good?
It was
Doable.
it was not as good as it. It was worth the drive. It wasn't as good as it was forecast. There was one wave, I won't say where, but there was one wave where I went to, and it was like 4 foot, clean, super clean, looked so much fun. And there's like two peaks, and there must have been 200 people out. And I was like, I had my board that's worth what, like a lot of money and a lot, like my most valuable possession. And I was like, I'm not doing that. So we semi-sacrificed a little bit of wave quality, but we still had good waves. I mean, we surfed 3 times for 2 hours at a time, so it can't have been bad.
We had we had
Yeah.
100 people out at La Gravio the other night. Easy,
I just can't
I'm
do
not going back.
crowds.
I'm not going back. I haven't surfed it for a while. I'm not going back.
I can't do crowds. I hate like more than 10 is about bad for me.
They're not going to stop.
No, but
Or are they? Are people going to take up other sports? All these blowins? Are
yeah,
they going to
yeah,
take up other
100%,
sports? Got
100%.
a
It's already
feeling they are, huh?
definitely it's already happening, and they're going to go back to
Less
their own
crowded
sport.
now for us. Oh, it's unreal. Thank you again, WSL, you dickheads.
Yeah,
It's we don't have the comp on. It's like way less crowded. It's way less crowded. The
yeah.
same time for 15 years we had.
Well, so that
I
was
won't,
a
I won't mention all the different countries worth of people that flew in and drove in for it,
well, what
plus all the
I,
competitors and
that's
hangers
so-
on.
that's something I wanted to ask you about before we go into like the last part of the body and do's and don'ts. I wanted to ask you about that is how funny is it that it's basically the WSL's comp week, pretty much, right?
Oh man,
And
we
it's
had we had two finals days. I said it to Noah. I said it on Sunday. I said, look, this was the quick pro. This was our quick pro finals day. It was there.
yeah,
It would have been, and it was 26 degrees. Oh,
and pumping.
it was beautiful. It's a warm October. Does that mean we're going to get a cold November? Are we going to get shocked? One of those shock
It's
ones
couple
into
of
the guts.
a couple of the mornings this week have been a bit icy with the dog, to be honest. But
I'm not here.
I've got a new. I'm getting a couple of new wetties. I'm trying to get a couple of new wetties for a little bit of like a deal, and then um yeah, and then we'll be taking on the colder waters, and I won't care. So, but let's so like you said, we'll do a couple more episodes coming up about. I want to do a full one on the Stab East and no contest. I reckon we should do one on the
East for listeners that aren't surfing gig kooks like Matt is. What is it?
Electric acid surfboard test.
Okay, so it's the alternative surfboard test that Fanning did. Fuck,
Yeah,
he flips.
yeah,
Like
he does.
he's just if you put him on the QS in any of those ways, none of the dudes could take him. None of them.
Nah,
Not a single one.
not if you wanted it.
His surfing hasn't like taken a
No,
hammering, was it?
no, definitely not.
Even though I don't think even though okay, if in those exact same waves, Ethan paddled out there, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah,
take him. It's just
yeah,
an age thing. I was talking to, I don't know, and Kelly is 6 months younger than me, and so he's always been an icon for me and my mates since we were 20. That like I think I was talking to, we were saying like which ones can he win? That's the discussion. Everyone would have it, and it's pipe and chokes. He
yeah.
can't win J Bay anymore, can he?
No,
He can't
no.
win Trestles. He can't win. Couldn't win Snapper.
Before we go into do's and don'ts,
People that have got younger muscles than you.
do you think he's coming back next year on the tour?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think?
Like why wouldn't he? He's on it.
Yeah, he's on it, but
Qualified.
you say why wouldn't he? But then there's a little
What
bit
else
of
has he
like
got to do?
not so. You say what else has he got to do? But then if he does the tour, he's got to go and surf pipe, which he'd surf anyway. Sunset he hates.
Yeah,
Then
but
he's
he's
got
got his house there, so it doesn't matter for him surfing sunset.
yeah, but it's also why does he
Hates
need?
it. Maybe it's pumping.
But
He'll have a hell time.
but then again, on the flip side, why does he need to? Why does he then need to fly over to Portugal when it's cold and put on
We've
boots and
been
gloves and
saying
stuff?
that for the last 15 years. It's
Yeah,
because he doesn't know what else to do.
true.
He's addicted to that. Needs it.
To be
It's worse
honest.
things to do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Most of us are doing them.
It means he doesn't have to like think like he's not doing it for the money.
Well, I guess he gets to surf it with no crowds.
He go around, hangs with mates, likes traveling while he's there, gets unreal waves somewhere else. Everywhere he goes, people obviously give him free food. Every single person comes up and goes, Kelly, Kelly. Like, I guess he's like, I guess he's got worldwide ego stroking.
I was about to say, yeah, ego inflation all round.
Everyone likes a compliment. Huh? It's just the rest of us. We can bring that up in one of the future episodes. And I
Mm,
like Laura Hannaford, but I
yeah,
still go. by the fact where people they say, "Oh, Laura, she's charging, she's unreal," and she's going, "Oh, people are so nice. The people are so nice. The big wave community is so nice." Because she goes somewhere, you just pick her up.
Yeah,
Come out on me jet ski. Give her the best wave of the day. Take
yeah,
her in. Take that. Take that. They wouldn't do it for me if I turned up and said, "Hey guys, hey, I heard you got a
nah,
secret hell wave here.
yeah,
Can
true.
someone tow me into the wave of the day?" They'd smack me in the face. Break me boards and say, "Fuck off."
Maybe we should do that as a series.
But people are superficial.
Maybe as
They see a camera and a blonde and they'll do anything.
what about if our poddy becomes lucrative, we'll do our own world tour where it's me and you flying around the world and asking people to tow us into their best wave and
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
how many times we get beaten up.
And okay, so I'm gonna quickly do a pick on you fucking Ashkin Goggins, which is all right and stuff. They're talking about how fantastic Fiji is, and oh wow, Fiji, the people are, and I hope the people are friendly there. It's a beautiful place in the world, and they love us, and the crowd is so fantastic. And I've never had a vibe like that because all these pricks are actually in Fiji surfing. Sorry to call you pricks or whatever. They've all got 10 grand, 10
Yeah,
grand, 10 grand that they can lay down on a trip. Who's
yeah,
that? Americans and Australians. That's it. The rest of us can't afford it.
no,
They've got 10 grand disposable income to go and lay down on a surf trip. They're out in tropical waters and it's pumping. Of course, it's not crowded because no one else can afford it. You twats.
exactly. Yeah,
And you fucking starve there with their, no, it was Red Bull, isn't it? Or
yeah,
whatever.
Red Bull. Yeah, yeah,
They got all their money, they got cameras, they're going there, so they're paying the people they're going to see who are smiling. So obviously they're going to smile.
yeah,
Every the boat, it's all free. Everything's free, and their boards.
yeah.
Well, of course, it's great. Let's do
Actually,
ours,
you
like
just
you said.
you just
I'm going
reminded
to
me as
turn up to
well.
Fiji and just go, Psst, Gaza,
Duh.
inside. Where's the boat? Huh?
Um,
Someone got a board for me and a
yeah.
leash? I didn't bring anything. Ha ha ha.
But you're so
Snap.
nice. Yeah, that's the other. That's
Leave me out
actually.
to sea.
I forgot to say this, but the best thing I've watched this year to do with surfing is, and I don't even need a comment from you because we'll do an episode on it. But it's how surfers get paid is phenomenal from Stab. Actually, is phenomenal, and we'll do another chat about that. But
Yeah, it's pretty good. I kind of like heard a lot of that stuff anyway, but
yeah, but it's good. It's good. What are your do's and don'ts?
surf with a fucking grommet, man. It's just electrifying. Huh?
Yeah,
Fun, even if you do an average turn, they're stoked for you because
yeah,
their father or grandfather. Until you just stay in the water longer.
yeah.
I told him that was his job. I was his surf buddy.
I like that. That ties into mine actually because my do was
Spent 10 years surfing by myself. Sometimes it's all right to go and take someone for a surf.
yeah because my do was similar, but it was for me it's surf with people that are better than you. Because when I came to France and I surfed with you and Pipsy and Jay, I'm not watching you and I'm not trying to pick up on everything you're doing, like from paddling to catching the wave to then what you do on the wave. And it depends on what type of person you are. But for me, I like to be a sponge for information, whether it's like spoken at me or
That's the
visually and
best
stuff.
thing you can do.
And so I think surfing with people that are better than you, my friend Harry Timpson, he rips the bag out of it and he's been begging me to go to Cornwall and I'm gonna make sure I do it because he surfs that better than anyone else.
It'll lift your level straight away. And the
Yeah,
good thing for people like me and you is wherever we go in every session, people are better than us.
yeah, and they'll give us free
So,
boards. And then my don't would be actually this is a funny quick story is when you're so we had a guy turn up. We was looking checking the waves when we went to Cornwall, and this guy came up to us and was like, "Oh, it looks a bit like this." And then there was a boog bodyboarder in the lineup, and he dropped in on someone, and Jack off, Silent Jack went, "Oh, look at that fucking dick dragger dropping in on them." And then the guy who was standing next to us was a bodyboarder, and yeah, so when you
Should
look
never do
when you're
that.
looking at the
What
lineup,
if the
just
dude's
be a
like a
bit
triple
be a
grunt
little bit
barrel, just a
positive.
psycho?
Yeah, because they can be because Boogs can go. I mean, not really in England, but they hunt out mad slabs. So yeah, just don't
It's
do that. Learn from Jack.
all surfing, man.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
Dude having the most fun's the best surfer.
yeah, definitely.
Unless he's
No matter what craft they're on.
acid. Unless he's on acid. Hey, don't ever fucking hold on to your rail grabber for your leash, when a 6 foot wave's coming. Because I
Okay.
did it, and it's the stupidest thing in the world to do ever. But like I did it, I thought, this fuck. Sometimes, okay, the logic or reasoning behind it somewhere is sound. If you've got a board that's tombstoning and you're trying to get it back to you, and you get it back to you, and you got 5 waves bearing down on your head, and you just want to be out of there, you want your board back quickly so you can jump on it, whip through, and get under the next one, which is what I thought. I'll quickly get it, but instead, it's ripped around the tip of my
Middle finger.
bird finger.
Yeah,
Is that what we call it?
yeah,
The bird finger. And I thought it was broken. But like, luckily, I didn't. You just can't do it. Don't hold on to your leash. Just fucking let it go. Let your board go and get dragged away. And if you don't get through, you don't get through. But you wait for the next set because it's better to do that than have a broken finger.
yeah,
And and then I thought I saw, and I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't had time, and I'm scared to. I thought I creased my 8-9. I hope it's not creased. I might have a look at it now. Oh, it's fucking scary. It better not be.
or is it
Oh,
a
yes, mate.
yeah? Geez, yeah, can't be
Board of
creasing
the year.
that.
Board of the decade. Well, we'll see. Like, it didn't do the stringer, so I could potentially, if it is a bit creased, I can still
Use it.
put a patch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You will see. So there are my do's and don'ts, and there you go.
That's it. Well, we're back. We'll be back
We're
with more.
back. Autumn's on us. Cold water's just one fart away.
The winter.
What are
Winter
you?
is
What are you? What are you?
coming.
What are you? What are you in? Wetsuit wise, there. You're in 4-3 anyway, aren't you?
Well, yeah,
Never got out of it. So,
just switch to 4-3. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I
more.
I much prefer the winter for almost the same reason as you is that the crowds disappear.
I mean, I'm wearing a 3-2, but it's been kind of hot in the 3-2.
Yeah, well, I wore a 3-2 in Cornwall, no boots as well, so that was nice. But down South Coast, yeah, it's definitely 4-3.
All right, viewers and listeners, we'll get back to you. And hey, shh. Someone got dropped from Quicksilver who's just qualified for the CT.
Boom, mic drop.